I'm going to introduce you today to the newest feature in the AO Scan, and it's in the Cepheid module, and it's called Frequency Cleanse. Frequency Cleanse, in my opinion, is a quantum leap forward in noise generation. You know, when we listen to rain or static or stuff at night to help us sleep, I want you to look at a white noise generator, because that's really what most people listen to, is white or pink noise generator, as not just a background noise you listen to, but a delivery mechanism for frequencies to our brain while we sleep. That will change the way we sleep. It'll make it to where we sleep better, sounder, and wake up more refreshed and focused. Because not only are we having the background noise to help black out everything else out there and to help our brain focus a little bit, but it's allowing us to put a frequency in at the same time to kind of help the body do what it's needing to do, and that's kind of regenerate for the next day. So what does Frequency Cleanse actually do? Well, like I said, it's a new noise generator, but it has 5 different noises. And I want to go through that. Why is 5 important? Now, there's lots of things out there that have rain and river and birds and nature. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about noise that helps trick the brain into blocking out all the other stuff that's out there that's preventing us from sleeping the way we should. So we're going to focus on these 5. Let me explain what those are. I'm going to go through each one and tell you why we feel that they're important. Obviously, the first one is white noise. That's the one that most people are most common with. And white noise kind of sounds like the static of a TV or a really loud rainstorm. It's more of a staticky sound. Pink noise is similar to white noise, but it's a little easier to listen to. It's the pitch of that static is a little lower. Brown noise is probably the most comfortable one to listen to because it's a much lower frequency and it more resonates with the organs in the body. It's more comfortable and easier to listen to. So these are the 3 noises that we would listen to during the sleep: the white, the pink, and the brown. Now the other 2 noises, blue and purple or purple violet, sometimes referred to as violet, totally different. These are not sounds that are recommended to listen to help you sleep or to relax. They are there to help you become more focused. One thing that's really interesting is the purple noise has actually been found in some studies to help with tinnitus, with the ringing in the ear, to help reduce that, and in some cases even help it go away completely. Those 2 noises would be used during the middle of the day. Maybe you're going to take a little power nap, or you need to get back on focus. But blue and purple are not ones that you'd sleep with. So you have those 5, but all of them have the ability to overlay a frequency. And now we use the solfeggio frequencies to add this to your inner cleanse. So now instead of having just noise, you can add a frequency. And there's 9 of those solfeggio frequencies, and each one has very powerful and beneficial effects when listened to. And for the best results in listening to those is about 15 to 20 minutes or more. You can listen to it all night, but at least 15 to 20 minutes is when the brain really starts to resonate with that. And generally within about 5 minutes after listening, the body starts to have the benefits of listening to those frequencies. So that's why that's important. Now we've gone another step, and I'm going to talk about the solfeggio frequencies in a little more detail in here in a second, but let me explain something else. So at the top you have the scan button, and then you have a little button that says scan modifier. And when you click on that, it'll drop down a window that has all 9 solfeggio frequencies in it. And if you click on each one of those one at a time, it'll open up a little box that'll tell you what that particular noise is known to be beneficial for. And so that really helps you make a decision on what noise you're going to or what frequency you're going to put behind your noise. Right below that, you have another button that says binaural mode. Now, this is important. When you're sleeping at night, and you're going to use either white, pink, or brown, That is just coming through a speaker, and you've got a frequency behind it. That's the frequency that's being blended into the noise. That's to help you sleep. If you're going to use one of those frequencies for like a power nap during the day, you're going to go sit in a chair, close your eyes, put your headphones on, and you're going to select binaural mode. Because what that's going to do is it's going to take whatever that Solfeggio frequency is, maybe it's 174, it'll put a frequency in the right ear and a separate frequency in the left ear. And the offset between those two will be 174, or whatever the frequency you selected, which means your brain is resonating at that frequency. Now, that only works with headphones. So not something you can do when you're going to sleep through the whole night. But where that really becomes even more powerful is when you're using either the blue or the purple during the day to help maybe get back on focus or to get your concentration level back, is go sit in the chair and put those headphones on with the binaural beat. And especially if you deal with tinnitus and you've got that ringing in the ear, using the purple would be just absolutely amazing. Now, your results may vary. This is not a medical thing, but you understand that this is how these would be utilized. Okay, so now I want to talk to you a little bit more about the Solfeggio frequencies. There's 9 of them. The first one is 174, and it's really good if you're dealing with pain or tension because it has an anesthetic effect when you're listening to it. 285 is the next frequency up, and that's really good for if you've had surgery, you've had an injury. It helps tissue regenerate faster, helps the body regenerate a little faster. Now, the next 6 frequencies in the Solfeggio list also deal with various chakras in the body, and this next one is 396, and it is reported to have effect on the root chakra. It also helps us deal with guilt and forgiveness. And so this is a really good one. If you're dealing with some issues that are centered around some guilt, you're just not functioning the way you need to that way, that's your go-to frequency. 417 is the next one. And the 417 is really good if you've had a really bad negative day because it helps release the negative energy that you've had around you through the day. So that's a really good one. And it has an effect on the sacral chakra. 528 is your next frequency, and that deals with the release of cortisol and stress. It helps release those things, and it deals with the solar plexus chakra. 639 is your next one, and this one is really good for relationships. It helps bring harmonious feelings back into your presence. And so if you've had a day where you haven't been quite as friendly as you should be and you haven't been as patient as you could have been, 639 is that frequency. That's the one you want to go to. And that deals with the heart chakra. 741 is your next one. And this one deals with helping and assisting the body in releasing its toxins, helping the body let go of the things that it's been holding that need to be eliminated. So it's the detox frequency for the body. And this one deals with your throat chakra. So sometimes you find where we just can't let go of, we can't say something we need to let out. That's the one. When you're having a hard time telling somebody how you feel, that's a really good frequency for this. 852 is the next frequency. This one helps us resonate more with our higher self, the universe, source. It just helps us as we sleep have a more enlightened type of a sleep. It activates the inner eye. And I know this sounds a little weird out there, but these are the frequencies that the Solfeggio frequencies are known for. These are the things that people have reported that they do. And what a wonderful way. If you're in a situation where things in the house are just not where they need to be, and you're not thinking just the way you should be, 852 is an amazing frequency to help us get back to that. So when you wake up in the morning, you've released some of that information that you don't need to have with you anymore. 963 is the last Solfeggio frequency, and it has a positive effect on the pineal gland, and it helps us return to oneness, become more centered. So all of these 9 frequencies have very specific areas in the body that they can help us. And you have the ability now to put those in with the noise that you're going to listen to at night, if that's what you do. And if you can do it with binaural, where you're doing it during the day and you do a little power nap, it takes those frequencies to an entirely new level. Frequency cleanse is one of those things where you're able to cleanse not only what's inside you, the frequencies, the energies that are not helping you, that you need to cleanse those out of your system. But it goes another step further. It'll also cleanse the frequencies in the room or the area where you're sleeping. Now that's important. Think about that for a little bit. What kind of energy do we have in our homes, in our bedrooms, when we're sleeping, when we're the most vulnerable to that type of issue? Frequency cleanse removes those and allows us to have a more protected time to sleep, a time when we can actually rejuvenate the best. So frequency cleanse, I think, will become one of your favorite go-tos when you start to utilize this. Now, there's more. If you take a look on your screen, there's 3 more things at the bottom of frequency cleanse, and they're called sweeps. You have a slow one, a medium, and a fast. Now, this ties in with your inner voice. This is probably one of my favorite parts of frequency cleanse is this one. You know, when you want to talk to one of your children, or maybe even your partner, and you've got something that's really important, you might, with a child, you might get down on your knees and gently cup their face in your hands, and you'll look at them eye to eye, and then you'll tell them what you want to tell them. That's kind of what sweep does. Look at it this way. The sound in your left ear, or right ear and left ear, are totally different. Imagine those as the 2 hands that are taking you by the face. And it's going to sweep through some frequencies that activate the cochlear membrane in our ears, get the little hair follicles in our ear canals stimulating and moving. And then at the end of that little sweep, there will be a 5-second tone, and it will be one of the 12 inner voice tones, and it will play for 5 seconds, but in binaural. So the sweeps have to be used with headphones. So 1 frequency in here, 1 in this one, and it will give you that tone. Let's say it's 432, the note 432. Well, it won't be 432 in either ear, but the offset between these 2 ears will be that. And it will go through that sweep, 5 seconds on a tone. And it will do that for all 12 tones. So if you're doing the slow sweep, it's going to take about 90 seconds to go through that. Now, I look at the sweeps as kind of like you tune your guitar, only this time you're tuning your emotional guitar in your head. You're going to go through every one of those. And it doesn't matter if you do it slow, medium, or fast. It's the exact same. The only thing is it's the duration of listening to it. But that exercise, that 1 to 2 minute exercise, will just kind of reset that emotional imbalance that you might have. And I could see that being used 2 or 3 times in a day, especially if you've got a very busy day, a stressful day. Go take a minute or 2, put on your headphones and do a sweep, and just kind of re-trigger all of those frequencies in the brain to focus on those 12 tones to help get our emotional guitar balanced and tuned back the way it needs to be. So take a look, play with frequency cleanse tonight. Do frequency cleanse, and you're going to thank yourself tomorrow morning, because it is that powerful. You're going to feel it immediately. The people that have used it love it. And we've got a hard group here to please. So trust me, when they say they like it, they love it. Enjoy this one. Thanks for being part of the family.